This is something new called Talking to Myself. And it's something that I am doing, just little videos of things that God has talked to me about and that I believe He has led for me to share, kind of from my ladies. And it's called Talking to Myself because as I was talking to Chris about it, about some of the things that God spoke to me about this morning, I realized that a lot of those are things that I am still walking through, or that I still need help with, and that God is still working with me on. I don't want it to seem like Jackie's got it all together, because the truth is that I'm still a work in progress. Anyone that you see who's still living and breathing by the grace of God is a work in progress. It's something I tell the girls all the time. As long as you're breathing, you still have an opportunity to change. So welcome to Talking to Myself. There are a few things that God spoke to me about last night. One of the things was Deweeding. I have a garden. I have a plot of land in the back, and then I also have just like these two strips on either side. I guess, what is it called? Like blanking my stairs when you come up the front. Where plants grow, there is an opportunity for weeds. And over the past couple of years, as I've been really excited about starting a garden and tried and failed, weeds have been something that I've just been kind of dealing with. Growing up in Brooklyn, New York, we were not doing a lot of gardening out there. And though my grandmothers are really, really good with plants, I did not take after them. So we had a lot of weeds, y'all. And I've been thinking about it. It's just something that's been on my to-do list. So when the Lord told me to speak about de-weeding, I was just like, okay. And then I thought about the Bible, and there's so many scriptures that God uses, parables that Jesus uses that have to do with agriculture, with the dirt, the plants coming out the dirt, seed, things like that. It gives such a perfect picture of the life of a believer. And I was motivated today after our talk to de-weed the gardens. As I pulled the weeds, some of them had roots that went down super deep, and they were really, really long and skinny roots. And then there were other weeds that the root was not really deep, but it spread out underneath the ground. And those that spread out underneath were the ones that were kind of the hardest to pull out. Sin is very much like that. Just leave a little crack for something to get into your heart, the things that we know are keeping us from being exactly who God wants us to be. Its roots can go down so deep and so wide that it's really hard to get out. We still need to do the work of digging them up, and it was not an easy process. It's not easy de-weeding a garden, and it's not easy de-weeding our life. Even the most perfect garden is going to have weeds in the garden. You can't get around it. And even the strongest Christian is going to have something in their lives that needs to be pulled up that is not as beautiful as it could be. So I guess the moral of this story is de-weed your garden and trust in the master gardener. God is the master gardener. Christ is the master gardener, and He knows when to prune. He knows when to plant. He knows when to harvest. He knows everything about us and our lives, and we can trust in Him, and we can lean on Him. And through prayer and reading of our word, we can have a better understanding of how to apply the word to our lives so that we can get those results that we're looking for. Just like I did the research. I did the research about the weeds in my garden. We need to do the research in the word about those things in our life that we're trying to pull and pluck up to really get to the place where we can be good soil, where God can implant in us seeds that will grow and bear fruit. I'm gonna insert some pictures just of me de-weeding and or some video of me de-weeding and what it looked like before and what it looks like now. And you'll see the difference. And it's not perfect now. It needs, I think, some topsoil and maybe some weed killer to kind of make sure anything that was still in the ground is completely dead, but it's better. And that's all we can hope for, is that day by day we're just growing little by little in the Lord, and constantly being obedient to His Spirit, and allowing Him to prune things back. And sometimes it hurts, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's painful, but we have to allow the Lord to do what needs to be done, and have a willing, listening, humble ear. I said talking to myself, right? But if you can get a little bit of help, if you can get some knowledge to understand what you're dealing with, you're in good hands. God's got you. God bless.